Okay, so thank you for being here. This is a Frequency Network. This platform is organized by Healy World. Okay, so for those who join us regularly, thank you for coming back. I'm happy and delighted that you take your learning seriously. Yeah. Okay, and for those who are joining us for the first time, welcome to you. Okay, there's still people coming. All right. Okay. We'll do the housekeeping first. All right. So this platform is provided by Healy World for us to share and to learn. So as usual, we must always be reminded, okay, that the information that we share here is for learning purpose. And the Healy as well as the MAGHEALY devices, they are not medical application. So they are not intended to cure, to treat, to mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any diseases or medical condition. So should there be any need, anything that is serious, so please be reminded, okay, that you are supposed to seek the help of qualified professional. All right. So although we are talking about relationships today, we are not talking about health issues. So even if there are any severe relationship crisis, conflicts, it is also good to seek professional help. All right. So this is my own disclaimer. The intention of this session is to share with you my experience on the use of Healy and MAGHEALY. Now, there are many ways to use these devices, okay? So as we learn from different teachers, and I myself, I'm also learning from other teachers. I also learn from anyone, you know, who has something new to share. So what we need to do is to adapt all these different kinds of practices in order to get the optimal outcome for ourselves. Okay, so when you listen, do not believe everything that is shared here without applying any discretion. Okay, so please do think through whether what I share with you here is suitable for you or not. Now, microcurrent and frequency, these are energy forms that are used to harmonize and balance our bioenergetic field as well as the information field of a person. Now, the results, okay, what I share with you, the methods and all that, the results will vary from person to person, case to case. So we have to do a lot of adaptation, okay, for different scenarios. Okay, all right. So this is the month of February. So in February, we are talking about relationships. So in the first week, Petra talked about creative homeopathy psyche, which is very good for relationship stress and stress patterns. And then the second week, I actually talk about how relationship stress actually lead to mental stress with all our negative thoughts. And from the negative thoughts and all that, it leads to physical problems and physical issues, okay? Because when there are negative feelings, okay, either we express it with all our anger, frustration, and etc. Now, the other way is we may also suppress the emotions and the feelings. So when we suppress the emotions and the feelings, where do they go? They actually do not leave our body system. We actually push them deep into the system. And what happened is they will block our meridians. So when you do the MAGHEALY meridian analysis, you can actually see how the emotions is actually found and get lodged in different acupoints, okay? So, and we also saw from the sugarless salts. So sugarless salts will also actually show how the negative emotions, after a long period of time stuck in that emotions, what happens is it will result in different health issues. For example, skin problem, joint or bone issues. And I also quoted an example when somebody had coughed for 3 months. Yeah. So these are all different ways where the body actually detox all these negative emotions from the body. Okay. Now, today we are going to talk about how to actually have authentic communication and deep connection in cultivating healthy relationships. Okay. So because why? In some cultures or certain individuals, through your experience, whether you've gone through trauma or because you live in a relationship where you model after the adults in your family, and therefore you do not have the freedom of speech, or you are not used to communicating how you feel very openly. Yeah, so in these cases, our thoughts are actually buried inside our head, and we expect, our partners, our family members to actually know what we are thinking or what is going on in our lives. Yeah, so today we are going to talk about how we can use Healy and MAGHEALY sometimes in cases like that, okay, to help us to better understand our partners, our family members. All right. So for those who are here for the first time, okay, let me share and introduce myself. I am Christi Wong from Singapore. Okay, so I'm trained as an energy profiling life coach since 2017. So from then till now, I have actually scanned more than 500 individuals using Healy and the MAGHEALY. Yeah, so through their examples, I pick up some that are relevant to the topic that we are talking about today, so that we can learn from all these cases. Yeah, so because we actually learn from each other. Now, I'm also trained in professional counseling, so all the skills and how to look at a situation, how to interpret, came from an interplay of all this. Yeah. So by profession, I'm actually a A-level biology teacher. So when I look at health, but today we're not talking about health. When I look at the health of a person, I also interlay a few areas, all right? Cell biology, the human physiology, and also the meridian acupressure, the 5-element system, which is from the traditional Chinese medical system. All right, so I've been doing wellness education like this for many years. Yeah, education and teaching is in my blood. Okay, all right, so let us begin. What are we going to talk about today? So today I'm going to give you a few tips of how I use the Healy to actually manage relationship stress. All right. So relationship here, when I use the term relationship, it could mean me and my father, my mother, okay, with parents, with your in-laws, okay, spousal relationship, or even relationship with your son and daughters, your children. Yeah. Okay. So all these are encompassed in this term relationship. So it's actually a broad term. So I'm going to give you several case studies. So we are going to look at the case studies, and then we are going to see how we are going to solve family conflict. Okay, some marital tension, and then there will be another one, which is a case of a divorcee who is thinking of progressing to the next relationship. Okay, so now what am I going to use today? I'm going to talk about the resonance database analysis. So if you look at the Healy Blue app, which is the Analyze app, okay, the third one, okay, the third one from the top, the one with the purple icon. And then I'm going to also use the aura analysis. And then finally, we'll also use the success coach. So all these are useful tools, and we are going to see and look at things from all the different angles. So you may have different editions of the Healy. It does not matter. All right. So you can learn first based on whatever edition that you have, because some of you may not have Aura, some of you may not have a coach, okay, or some of you may not even have the blue app to use. It does not matter. You can still learn right now and then decide later on whether or not you want to upgrade your system, your edition. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, the first case, this is the first case, yeah? Now, this person here gave you a little bit of context of why there was a conflict. Okay, so let's call this person Mr. X. Okay, Mr. X, during a family dinner, announced to the whole entire family that he is getting baptized. Okay, baptized here means that the person has decided to switch his birth religion. All right, so he is Chinese, so he has a traditional Chinese belief, okay, which can be Buddhism, which can be Taoism and all that. So now what happened is he wants to switch, make his own choice, and become baptized as to embrace the Christian faith. Okay, so this is the situation. So during dinner time, he announced to his family members and invited them, okay, to attend his baptism ceremony. Yeah, so that they can witness and give him the blessing. All right, so that was the scenario. Now, what happened is he did not expect, he really didn't expect that his mother became furious, upset, really, really upset, you know, flip the lid. Yeah, so he was helpless. Okay, he didn't know what to do, and he could not understand why and what his mother was upset about, because he had been going to church regularly for a few years and things seems all right. So he thought that it is actually time for him to make that transition, and he just announced it. Okay, so he didn't expect his mother to behave that way, and his mother started to scold every single person who attended the dinner that night. Okay, so it was quite scary for them, you know, that they have never seen their mother behave this way. Okay, so he reached out to me and asked, you know, can Healy tell me what is going on? What is the real issue and what is the real problem? Okay, so I said, let's give it a try. So what he can do is to actually do the scan using his mother's profile, all right, and then do a scan of the analysis, the resonance database analysis, this purple icon that you see. And then when you turn it on, these are the modules that you find in this database analysis, all right? Okay, now sometimes, you know, people will only do one or two of this analysis, okay? And you will tend to do the one that you like or the one that is highest for you. Now, what happened is what is highest for you may not be highest for another person, all right? So when I solve a case like this, I would ask the person to scan all, okay, whatever that they have to scan all right? But this person only gave me the reports for this four. Doesn't matter. So I will just work with whatever I have. So if they give me 4 reports, I will just look at 4 reports and try to analyze and understand the situation in his context, all right? Now, so from the reports, what you can do is you don't have to look at the statements yet. Don't look at the statements yet. Okay, so you can actually write it out, just the percentages alone. All right, so just list all the percentages for every report, every list, like what I show you here. All right, now for those percentages that are 60% or higher, Okay, I will highlight them and take note of them. And then if there isn't, I will look at the closest, 59% I will accept, 58% I will accept. So roughly, these will be the statements that I will actually collate. Okay, so I'll show you how I collate the report. All right, so I don't look at every single statement that appear, because now I'm doing an investigative work to understand why Mr. X's mother actually behaved in that manner. So I will pull out, I will actually type out like this, like the way I show you, all the statements that are selected based on the percentage. So I want only percentages that are 60% or higher. If there isn't, I will just choose 58 or 59% to be inclusive. All right, so from my experience, I find that any stranger, when you look at the report of any stranger, because a lot of all these clients, I do not know their family background, I do not know them. I found that if you just look at statements that are 50, 60% and above, okay, that means it will be the current emotions that they are displaying. Okay, yeah. So what we do is I will then read through all the statements, all right? So let's say for the first one, okay? Yeah, that this person, you may not need to take every single parts of it. So what you can do is you can actually print out the PDF report, use a highlighter to go and highlight the words that you think is relevant to the current situation, okay? So for example, 80%, all right? This person is actually caught in family patterns, all right? So 70% is what? Self-consciousness is in pre-human evolutionary states or autism. Now, what this means is that the reaction of this person is actually not logical. It is not using the rational mind. So pre-human means it's an animal instinct, all right? So which is your amygdala. So the event, okay, which is the baptism, actually triggered, okay, the amygdala to take over, and therefore it was only emotions. There was no rational thinking. Now, self-consciousness, what's self-consciousness? So, which means that because certain trauma, certain beliefs, okay, certain patterns, which we saw from some of the previous report, is actually transmitted through the body, all right, through the cell. For example, certain beliefs that we have is actually transmitted through what? Transmitted through our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors, and even karmic. Okay, so here, cell consciousness, meaning that this is not a her own consciousness, all right? So this response is actually an automatic or unconscious response. Then this person actually feel extorted, living in the future and fighting for recognition by others. Okay, under the bush flowers, okay, again, the word recognition appears. Yeah, so when the word appears multiple times, okay, it is like underlining, okay, highlighting, bolding, telling you that that may actually be a key problem here, that this person is actually feeling deep-rooted grief and sadness. All right, Schussler salt showing that, okay, this person, so the salt helped this person to advance courageously, to be independent of the expectation of others. So this is a solution. So when you read it as a solution, you have to turn it the other way around to see what is the problem. The problem is this person lacked the courage, okay, and is currently living under the expectation of others. So what is the expectation of others? All right, under constant tension, exertion, exhaustion, okay, doing his duty and not going to give up. Now, what is happening here is you have to understand a little bit of the Chinese context here. So for Chinese, your birth religion is very important, and being the male of the family is also very important because you are supposed to carry the tradition down the masculine, the male lineage. So this being a man wanting to switch from his birth religion to another religion means that the mother here, okay, who is the remaining matriarch in the family, okay, because there's no more father. So she is the one holding the fort, holding on to the family traditions in the family. All right. So in the Chinese community, or if you are the matriarch of the family, okay, so these are things, religion and all these beliefs is something that you have to protect. Yeah. So now when the son wanted to make a switch, okay, this mother would probably think, how am I going to meet my ancestors, or how am I going to account to your father? How am I going to account to all your ancestors if you do this sort of thing? Okay, so that's why this part here, this person is not living in the present. This person is living in the future. So this person is trying to think what happens, when I go there. All right, so this is a family pattern. So this is a family transition. Okay, so and she has to fight. If you look at the bud flowers over here, okay, she feels like a fighter. She is carrying on the family tradition on her shoulders. Okay, so she is going to fight. She's not going to give up. So this is why she responded in this kind of level of irrational anger. All right, and outbursts like this. Okay, so when you look at it, then you know, oh, she is coming from this angle. That's why she is so upset. So the expectation of others here will be the expectation of the family line, is the expectation of the ancestors, that you pass on all these down to down the generation. Okay, now feeling extorted, recognition, all this is because the Mr. X just came in and just made the announcement, not seeking her opinion, not seeking her, let's say, her approval. All right, so you already made the decision and now you're just announcing it and letting me know. Okay, so she felt like I'm forced to say yes. Okay, so that is the extortion that she felt. And the recognition, not being respected because she feels that she is the matriarch of the family and she is the decision maker. So there is no recognition, no respect given to her in this whole decision making. Yeah, so that contributed to the grief, the sadness, and that fight, that clash. Okay, so after I read the report and then I will look at the context of what is happening, then after that, I will explain to my client, this is how I think is happening in this situation over here. All right, so now what to do with all these reports here. So from the report here, there are 4 reports. So from here, you will straight away know which is the more important report. So the one that has the most number of 60% and above, all right, will be the most important report. Then after that, the second would be the bush flower. And then bud and bush is almost equal weightage. Yeah, so I'll just put Schussler salt as the 3rd one and then bud flowers as the 4th one. So what do you do with all the reports? Now, immediately when there is an outburst like this, okay, so what happened is you can vibrate the important reports like the first and the second one, okay, in terms of priority ranking, the homeopathy and the bush flower, you can immediately do 2 minutes, 50 seconds, and you do it for 3 times, okay, 3 consecutive times. Yeah, so that is for immediate management of the emotion. Now, for the remaining 1 to 2 weeks, what you can do is the reports here. Let's say the important one, which is the homeopathy and the bush flower, you can vibrate 3 times a week. Okay, so you can do the usual 38 seconds, 7 times, 27 minutes, 1 time. So you do it 3 times a week, alternated with the other 2 leaves. So the other 2 leaves will be bud flowers, Schussler salt, which you can probably vibrate once a week. Yeah, using the same timing. So you can play around with these reports and do it over 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, so if you want to change the list, you want to scan again, it's up to you. It's fine. You can actually scan the the list again after 1 week and then see and assess what is her situation. Okay, now the other programs that you can use, okay, depending on how angry the person is, okay, if the person is receptive and willing, you can actually use the electrodes, okay, and you run these programs for that person, okay, but assuming that person is so upset and therefore not receptive for using all this, so what you can then do is use the blue app, which is the Analyze app. Okay, you turn to soul cycle, you scan the soul cycle for the top 5, whichever 5 that appear, doesn't matter, you just do the vibration. So you can vibrate 38 seconds, 7 times, followed by 27 minutes. Or if you want to keep her stable in terms of her emotions, you can do it for, let's say, 1 hour, 4 hours, 9 hours, it's fine. Okay, now why do I choose soul cycle? Because there is a separation here. All right, because the conflict actually create a separation. Okay, one is a separation because of the tradition and the religion. Okay, so there is a separation there. All right, so you can use this program like this, like acceptance, okay, to help her to be able to accept, okay, the new situation, to have peace, serenity, to feel happy, all right, to have her inner balance, and then to release the burden of having to carry the family tradition. All right, so these are some of the programs that you can actually use to help her to unload, okay, unload all her emotions. Now, the next one that you can consider using is actually the power of 3. Power of 3 is the last 4 over here is good for crisis. Okay, so if this is a relationship crisis, okay, or if it's a serious conflict that you are dealing with here, okay, conflict balance is good, right? Which use the electrode, run the conflict balance if possible, and then followed by the rebalance, So it's to help her regain her emotional balance again. Okay, so these 2 here, you can actually use it. Okay, so these 2, you can actually use it to help her manage the emotions. All right. Now, if you can't, again, if you can't use the electrodes or using the coil, then use the blue app. All right. Select her name, use the blue app, and then do the vibration for her. All right. Okay. Now, defense support and friendly flora, what are they for? Defense support is to prevent her from having a lot of circling thoughts, a lot of angry thoughts, you know, so that she will not keep repeating all those emotions, words, and thoughts in her mind, okay? Because in the defense, there is one program, which is the mental defense. So that will actually protect her, her mentally, all right? Now, friendly flora, this is the good bacteria in the gut. Okay, so there is a connection between the gut and the brain. Okay, so this is to prevent depression. Yeah, so this is actually to prevent depression. Okay, so these are programs that you can use if the crisis is really severe. All right, if the clash in that relationship is severe, this is a good program to use. Okay, so conflict balance is good because after a conflict, when you use conflict balance, okay, you can actually restore the relationship as if nothing has happened before. Yeah, so it helps to in the reconciliation process, okay, more readily. So that is a good program to use after a big conflict. Okay, now if you have a well-being, I think all of us would have well-being in the Analyze app, the blue app. So there's mind and spirit. So all you need to do is just scan, analyze the well-being. All 3 will appear. Mind is to, again, like I said, protect her from all the repetitive thoughts, you know, replaying in the mind. And spirit is to actually prevent her from going into depressive feelings, yeah, because of her background. So you have to assess, you know, the person, whether they need this or not. Now, the other method that you can use, so people will ask, is how to get her blessing now. Okay, so now that she flipped her lid like that, she's so upset. So how to get her blessing? Now, you can manifest your intention, your goal, what you want through the success coach. Okay, this is just an example. So you ask yourself, what do you want? What kind of response do you want from the mother? Okay, so you can write something like, my mother willingly and respectfully accept my decision to embrace a belief and religion of my choice. So after that, you can do the vibration. Okay, 38 seconds, 7 times, 27 minutes once, and then just every day keep doing that. All right. Yeah. So you can actually do this, use all the different modules here to help you get the result that you want. Okay, now after the anger and all that subside, what do we do next? So now is time for communication. Yeah, so clear the energy in the space first, because all this anger and despair, helplessness and all that, the message, the information is actually remaining in the atmosphere. All right, is in the space. All right, so what happened is run energy clearing. You may have to do it 2-3 days to just remove all this negative information from the space at home, especially if you were to if this person live with them, okay, or you are living with the person that you are having conflict with, okay, clear all this negative information in a space before you start talking. Okay, so the next one is to run family harmony. So when you run family harmony, it's actually to create a space favorable for building relationships. And then when you finally sit down to actually talk to that person, use coherence. So you can use the MAGHEALY atmosphere, run the coherence in the background, or you can use the Healy bioenergetic support. Yeah, so you can actually wear the electrode or use it with a coil, the coherence. So the coherence, what does it do is the coherence will make your mind, your heart, your intention, okay, your soul, everything to be in unity. All right, so that when you talk to the person can feel your sincerity, the person can feel that you are genuine in what you are talking about. All right, so that actually helps to draw two persons together. So if you're not very good with your words or expression, somehow, you know, the energy matches and the person will be able to resonate with you. All right, so now that the Mr. X know what is the problem that is bothering the mother, and when the mother with all the emotions all calm down, then it's a good time to actually talk. And what do you talk about? So at least now you know what to talk about, rather than, you know, blaming each other and you do not know what is the real problem, and the conversation cannot go deep and cannot resolve the problem. Okay, so if you know that this has to do with their traditions, their belief, their family beliefs and all that, so this person must now have to address, okay, what he or she is going to do in future regarding this. All right, then with regards to recognition, not appreciating her, so therefore what the person can now do to actually address that, so that she does not feel that her power, her position is being taken away. Yeah, okay. So this is the whole thing, starting from the outburst of the emotions all the way to resolution. Okay, the next case, I saw some questions. I'll answer your questions later. All right, now we are going to the next example. So the next example here is a lady whose husband throws tantrum at home every day. Okay, so every day for a period of time, the husband came back, is angry with everybody, angry with her, angry with the children, so much so that the children did not come out of their bedroom. So they just hide inside the room. Okay, so she is frustrated, in despair, and does not know what is going on. You know, is the husband angry with me as a spouse? Okay, or has anything happened in the in-laws, or what? What exactly is going on? Yeah, and he will also not share what is going on. Okay, so now comes another question. Can Healy tell me why my husband is throwing tantrums every day at home? Okay, so the process is the same. I'm just showing you that the process is the same. Just get the profile of this person and then scan as many of the modules there as possible. All right, so here I was given 5 reports. I will just make do with 5 reports. Yeah. So from what I see here, what I do, okay, and you know by now, is to collect all the statements that is highlighted in gray here. That means 60% or higher. If there isn't, then I'll take 58. So if the list does not have, it will be excluded from here. I will not even consider that particular list at all. Okay, yeah. All right, so now let's see what is the situation here, bit by bit. Okay, so first, she wanted to know where is the source of the problem? Where is the trigger event? Okay, is it his own family? Okay, is it workplace? Okay, or within their own family? Okay, that means the spouse is unhappy with her. So she wanted to know where is the source of the problem. Yeah. So there are too many statements here, so I hide some of them so that I will go through bit by bit with you. Okay, so the one that tells me the most is this one, not feeling integrated in a community. So we have to ask, what is his community? His community at home. So I check and find out, do they have any conflict over any issues within her own family? Okay, so that there isn't. She cannot think of something that will irritate the husband so much until he will throw tantrum every day. Now, even if there is, she knows that she will actually ask and she will want to find out. So she does not think that it is actually coming from her own home. So the in-laws, there don't seem to be any big problem over there. So therefore, we then explore what is happening at the workplace, because this is something that we do not know. Okay, so it seems that this person is facing unpleasant situation. Let's say it's at the workplace. Yeah, so it's repressed. That means she does not talk so much about it. So yeah, so this one is a solution. So Switzerland's salts is to give the solution to the husband to find a balance between the burden and to release and to face the unpleasant situation, to have the courage. So you look at the opposite. The problem is he does not have the courage to face any unpleasant situation at the workplace. Okay, so now we narrow down to the workplace. Okay, so it seems that, okay, he is being sacrificed for other people. So we do not know what happened. That means that he feels that, all right, he is being sacrificed for others. Yeah, so now we move on to the next one. What we want to find out is, so what is making him so angry? All right, so if you look at this one here, he believes he is someone special. So there is a certain pride there. All right, so, and then what happened is, you look at this one, okay, he is intolerant, he's prejudiced, okay, he has a lot of arrogance, and then he does not understand other people's mistake. So there is a possibility there where he is maybe having a conflict with a colleague, okay, or if he is the boss or a head, okay, or a leader, then he may be having conflict with the subordinates, all right? So his arrogance, he thinks that he's special and all that, okay, cause him to actually harp upon the subordinates, for example, okay? So escaping into a toddler role, Okay, focusing only on the problems. Yeah, so you can see here tyranny, selfishness and tyranny, which is actually his emotional outburst and tantrum. Okay, why? Because he stubbornly want to enforce his will. Okay, so that means that whatever situation that he is facing in his workplace, so if he is a leader, he wants to enforce whatever he wants. Let's say if he is not a leader, he is a subordinate, he will probably think that his bosses is not recognizing him or is not supportive of him, but he is bulldozing and is pushing his way there. All right. Okay, then if you look at this part here, bush flower here, all right, so he has to accept himself, okay, and then without being superior to others. So this is a solution. So his problem is the opposite. That means he feels superior to all the people around him. So let's say if he is a leader and his subordinates or his followers is not cooperative or not doing what he wants. So his tantrum is actually coming from his frustration in wanting to implement something, okay? But the followers are not doing it. Yeah, so maybe they make mistakes in implementing things and he get absolutely angry. Okay, so he put himself as a superior in a superior position. So he probably think that, okay, my goals, my dreams, my business is being sacrificed because of this group of people who are incapable. So there is an imbalance here. Okay, so that's one scenario. So the other scenario is he is the subordinate and he can't put his things through. And he feels the other way, that the people above him, the people on top, making the decisions are not actually doing what? Are not as smart as him. Yeah. So there is a lot of attempt here trying to enforce whatever he thinks is right. Okay, so that is where his anger and tantrum is coming from. Okay, so now the third stage is what we see here is therefore how to help him. Where is his situation? Now, here, unfolding in safety means that, okay, if you ask him, he won't talk. Let's say if you're having dinner and the children are there, and then if you ask him, yeah, why are you having so much tantrum this few weeks? Yeah, so he will not say anything. He will probably say nothing, or he'll just keep quiet and then he'll just eat, because that's not the safe place. All right. Then dignified vulnerability out of fear of violence. So he is aware that he is violent. All right, and this kind of tantrum is likely to have happened before, okay, because lack of processing of errors, constant repetition of the same errors. So the way he behaved this way is not the first time, okay? So that means he has the habit where when he's frustrated, that is where he lashes out at people. And look at this. Okay, fear of uncontrolled temperament, outbreaks, panic, nervous breakdown. So he's actually losing control of his situation. Okay, yeah, so gentle integration. So that's the gem there and all that. So he has to learn how to be gentle in his situation, learn how to integrate into the community, whether it's the culture of the company, okay, or the department, etc., work as a team. So that is his issues there. So now that the wife know what is the problem, so what to do? So this is can be a possible solution. So what you can do is, if the wife can actually do the analysis, and from the analysis print out all the reports, okay, the 5 reports that we saw just now. So he can actually print out the PDF reports. So you do know that there is PDF, right? So print out the PDF. You may want to highlight and sit down with him, okay, to have a chat. So he needs the safe place. If she wants the husband to talk, she will have to provide a safe place. Definitely not at home, not in front of the children. So if possible, bring him out for dinner or bring him out for a walk. Let him walk and release all the stress, and then sit down somewhere, take out the report, and then talk to him and walk with him through the entire report. Yeah. So after that, you can then do the vibration as usual. Okay, so use the report as a starting point for communication, because he may be having the tantrum, but he may not be aware what is making him so angry either. So with the analysis report, it can be a talking point, it can be the starting point where you can highlight, is it true? Is this what you're going through and all that? So when confronted gently, okay, he will probably just admit and say yes, yeah, because otherwise, because of his pride, he may not know what to say and he may not say anything. So you cannot get anything out from him. Okay, so following that, do the same thing, which is to vibrate this list, okay, according to what I shared with you earlier. So the first important list in this case is still the homeopathy, then the bug flowers, and then the rest of the list. All right, so this is how you can actually use this to engage in the communication. Yeah, so that he does not have to hide, he does not have to put on the good image and all that. So yeah, everything is right in front of him, and it makes it easier to actually start talking about it. Yeah, and therefore resolve the issue together. Okay, or be supportive. Now, the next way is to use the aura. Okay, so let's say if in the relationship there is a lot of communication breakdown, stress in communicating with people or with your family members, you can also use the aura. Yeah, so in the aura, after you do the first analysis like this, then after that you get the entries. All these are the statements that mention about your present state. Yeah, so you can just read the present state and find out what's going on. So today we are not talking about the numbers above. So we'll just look at the statements in the present state to understand ourselves or to understand the other party, okay, depending on who you have selected to profile, okay? Now, if the stress in the relationship, okay, if it's the chakra means your joy, your heart, your relationships with people around you. So if there is a lack of joy, okay, this person can only feel joy through other people, meaning that if your significant other, your children and all that are not happy, you are also not happy. So this is unhealthy because you are dependent on others for your happiness. Okay, yeah, so it will highlight root issues to deal with it. So your unhappiness, your own happiness must come from you. Yeah, so the person confuses emotional extortion with love. Yeah, so this is where, okay, let's say jealousy. Jealousy is a form of emotional blackmail. Yeah, so you feel that, hey, if the person is not jealous, or if the person is jealous, then it's equal to love. So this is unhealthy and unequal way of looking at love. Yeah, okay, yeah. Then here, this can be family. All right, so if there are stresses that is related to parenthood, let's say if a newlywed, for example, one is ready to be a parent, the other one is not ready to be a parent. Okay, so whether the sexual relationship and all that will have tension. Okay, if one person feels insecurity or fear about becoming a parent. Okay, yeah, so if this appear in either party's chart, so if it's in your chart, okay, then you would know then how to resolve, okay, the tension in the marriage. Yeah. So if it's the other person, then you will have to then sit and talk about when would be a time where both of you will be ready for, let's say, becoming parents, etc. And where does all this insecurity come from? It could be a baggage from the past. It could be a baggage that comes from your own family. Okay, so all these things you may have to resolve, okay, because the problem does not come in that spousal relationship, but from outside, bringing it into the family. Okay, this one here is about love and sexuality. Okay, so some people equate frequency of having sex with love. So the more sex equals the more love. Okay, some are not like that. So therefore, you can have different expectation that can lead to disappointments and all that. So that will also affect the relationship as well. So they will actually show you exactly where the tension in the relationship is coming from. Okay, so therefore you know exactly which issue to resolve. So home. Okay, a person's mental image of home may be different. So a happy family, a good home, a warm home means when I come home, the house is clean. Okay, everything is organized, everything is clean. Yeah, but if I come home and then the toys are thrown all over the place by your toddler and all that, so you feel that you are not being welcome. You feel that it's not a homely place to come back to. So you come back and then you feel a lot of stress in the family. So these can be a source of stress in the relationship. So when you see this appearing, so this is where it's good to then talk about what do you expect in a home. So how do you want to set up the home? Yeah, so to be considered a homely place. So different people have different mental picture of what their home will be. Yeah, so all this can become talking point, all right, so that you go deep into understanding each other. All right, the other one is emotional extortion and manipulation at home. So it depends on whether this particular statement here appear in your chart or in your partner's chart. Okay, so if it appear in your chart, then you have to see, are you the one that is controlling or blackmailing your partner emotionally? Okay, so this is where we then need to do the self-reflection. All right, if it's the other partner, then you need to be aware when the emotional extortion or the emotional blackmail take place, so that you do not unknowingly, walk into the trap. Yeah. Okay, so in that way, you can actually protect yourself. So emotional extortion, blackmail can come in all these areas. Guilt, okay, to instill guilt in a person, right? For example, if you really love me, you will do this for me. Now, if this is something that appear in you, that means you are the one giving the blackmail, okay, you may want to reflect, what is your sentence? What do you say? Yeah, so you may want to have a piece of paper, a list that, when you recall, oh, when I say this, actually I am making him feel guilty. All right, so any of these is not having a equal communication. Yeah, so when you go into control and manipulation, is no longer pleasant to be in that relationship. So if you are contributing to it, so try and recall what are all the things that you used to say before, put it down, okay, face it, and therefore, okay, think of a way so that you do not think of how then would you phrase it or say it differently to get what you want without manipulating and controlling. Okay, so if it's the other person, then you try and recall what the other person have ever said in the past, so that in future you can actually protect yourself. Yeah. Okay, so self-harm. So if you leave me, I will do this. I will hurt myself. I will what and all that. So these are examples. Withholding affection, even withholding sex. I won't have sex with you until what. So here the example is, I won't talk to you until you apologize. So this is a silent war, a cold war. Okay, playing the victim. After everything that I've done for you, is this how you treat me? So you make the person feel bad. So you list all the good things that you have done for that person and all the bad things the other person has done for you. Okay, the ultimatum. If you don't do this, I'm going to leave you. If you don't do this, I'm going to apply for a divorce. So this is giving ultimatum, shaming the other person. You're so selfish for not doing what I want. Okay. Insecurity. No one else will ever love you like I do. Okay. Conditional love means I will only love you if you do this for me. All right. So yeah, you have to show that you love me. If you buy this this bag for me, then it shows that you love me. Yeah, so a lot of things, yeah, that we actually put the conditions there unknowingly. Yeah, so humiliation is where you threaten to tell other people. You threaten to tell the mother. You threaten to tell the boss. Yeah, so this is, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to tell so-and-so about what you did. So there's humiliation, gaslighting, okay? So you're overreacting. I never said that. So you're trying to deny that the person is actually cooking up something that was not there. Okay, so make the person doubt themselves. So these are situations, okay, that will make the relationship very unpleasant. So when you do the aura, whatever that comes out, other than vibrating the lists of all the statements that you saw over there, okay, it is also good to take note of the statements there and do our reflection, or think of a way to protect ourselves from getting hurt by people who manipulate us. Okay. All right. So now let's go to success coach. Yeah. So success coach can also be used, right, to identify past challenges. So recently I met a person who just had her divorce, and yeah, so I was just doing a now. So in the coach, what you do is in the box over here, you don't type anything, you just type now, just one word, now. Now means you're analyzing the current energy, okay, the current energy state. And then you will see the wheel chart over here. Then from here, you will know what are the areas that need improvement, that they are weak. So this is after a divorce. So you can see that family relationship here is quite weak. Yeah, her own self-worth, her potential, her emotional balance. So she's still quite balanced. When I meet her, she's still quite positive about that. But you can see the isolation here, not wanting to meet people, and her self-worth, her potential is all below par. All right, so when we look at the thing, okay, so you can actually see, is this person ready for the next relationship? So what she's struggling with is actually here, okay, not loving herself. Okay, is a person who does not know how to love yourself, because all this while you are giving to a lot of other people. Now, she came to me is supposed to be for a health issue. You know, she has discomfort, a lot of discomfort in her heart. Okay, and she went to see a cardiologist. She went to do all her tests, but they couldn't find anything wrong with her. But she said that she is tired. Every day she has no energy. And then she felt that her chest is very compressed. Okay, very difficult to breathe. So therefore, she went to see a doctor, but the doctor didn't find anything wrong with her. So we did this, and out came one of this statement here. Okay, that she become aware of which part of her body she is perceiving a particular feeling. All right, so it was actually her heart relationships. Okay, so here it actually talk about breathing into the pain. That means acknowledge the pain that is in the heart that stem from her relationship stress. Okay, do breath work and then release that pain which is currently stuck at her heart chakra. Okay, yeah. So that's why I find that it's useful. You can actually learn something from here. So you can see that although she's out of the relationship, she does not believe that she can actually have a good life, a better life from henceforward. Okay, yeah. Then her thoughts and actions currently is actually minimizing her self-esteem. So she is still beating herself up, okay, for a failed relationship. Yeah, so she's probably wondering, what have I done wrong, and things like that. So a lot of this thoughts and action is still compromising her own self-esteem. Okay, all right. So the other part is the inner emptiness. So she just came out from a relationship. She felt empty and she wants to fill this emptiness with the love of another person. So she is actually looking for another partner. Okay, so she's open to it. She felt that she is ready for it. Okay, but according to the success coach, she is actually not ready for it. Okay, because she said here that she resolved the circumstance which her current situation, okay, if she has a partner, she will only be making use of the partner as a consolation. So what the success coach is advising her, okay, in this case is self-love first. Learn to love yourself without needing or wanting other people to give you the love. Yeah, so you have to first love yourself, okay, so that if you are happy and confident alone, then only you are ready for the next partner. Okay, if you have the inner emptiness that you want to feel, finding the partner is only filling the void, getting another person to fill the void. So therefore, the baggage, you know, the baggage will still be carried forward to the next relationship. Yeah. Okay, so you can see all this here. Okay, so the coach is actually giving a lot of suggestion and advice that will be helpful for this person in the current situation. So I find it quite amazing if you were to just look into all of these statements here to understand oneself, okay, to understand your partner or to understand the situation of people in your life, okay? Yeah, so we are very fortunate, okay? We are very blessed, okay, to have the Healy device, the MAGHEALY device. We have all these modules here. I've shown you today how to use all these things that actually gives you the 360-degree angle perspective to look at a person, to look at a situation. Okay, so also to protect yourself. Yeah, so we have all this. So we just need to learn how to use it. And learning how to use it is just a matter of following the steps that I give you, and then learning day by day to just read, understand, and follow some of the suggestions given by Healy. Okay, so I hope that the tips that I share with you and the cases that I share with you here are useful to you, that you will be able to use some of these skills to help yourself and the people around you. All right. Okay, so next week, that will be the month of March. It will be a different theme. Next week, Petra will share about the nervous system reset. Nervous system reset. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the questions that you have in your chat, and let's answer them. Okay, all right. Okay, this is the first case, the mother. All right, did the son actually analyze the mother without her knowing? Okay, yes and no. Okay, as in not knowing means it was not done in front of her. Okay, it was done, that means you get the permission energetically. Means that before you actually analyze the person, just sit down there, be still. Okay, sit down there, be still, and imagine that the mother, the person is in front. Just get the permission, okay, and tell the mother the intention of doing the analysis. Okay, that means is to understand the person, okay, to understand the mother and all that. If there is no objection, that means you are talking to the higher self of the mother. Okay, so if there is no objection, then you can proceed and do it. Yeah. So we have to practice ethics. Okay, we do not just key in anyone's information and therefore start to analyze, analyze your boss, analyze this, analyze that, and all that. So we do not know that. We don't do it out of curiosity. Okay, and then we don't use and get the information and then spread the information around. So we do not do that. Okay, we strictly do not do that. Yeah. And next question is, if the person is the son, I would analyze the son, his reaction to the situation. Okay, All right. No, the case is that the mother was angry. So the son wanted to know why the mother was angry with the situation when he had actually been attending a church for so many years. So now it's just finalizing his decision. That's all. So he wanted to understand why the mother was so reactive. So that was the intention. Okay. Then success coach is in the blue app or pink app. Success coach is in the blue app, analyze under coach. Okay, this session, there is a recording, and it will be, the company will send it to you in the form of a link to watch the YouTube video. So it's usually at the end of the month. So all of February's sessions, okay, will be sent to you through your email, okay, to watch the YouTube recording in March. Okay, higher percentage. If you're talking about database analysis for creative homeopathy, bug flowers, bush flowers, Schussler salts, and all that, the higher the percentage means the more disharmony. All right, means that there is more disharmony over there. Okay, so therefore, you need to address those, the higher the percentage. All right. Okay. What is DCLM and all that? Okay. So in the previous lessons, we actually talk about that. Okay. All this DCLM. Okay, so D, C, and LM, I usually don't pay so much attention to this. I normally just look at the numbers behind. Okay, so when you see E6 karma, E12 is from your parents, E36 is from your grandparents. Yeah, E24 is grandparents, E36 is ancestors. Okay, so that means that where is the original root cause of that? So certain trauma are actually transmitted in the lineage, okay, from our ancestors down. Okay, so that is the meaning of that. All right. Okay, so you're welcome. I see that many of you enjoy the session. Okay, so yeah, so because a relationship, they either make us, feel heavenly, feel loved, feel appreciated, but sometimes it can also make us desperate, in despair, frustrated, and all that. Okay, so yeah. Okay. Let me see. All right. Okay, right, no more. Any more? Okay. No more. Dun, dun, dun. LM. Okay. D, if you really want to know, D means the cause in the foreground. C is the consequence in the foreground. LM means cause or consequence in the background. Okay, so foreground, I would understand it as something that happens in your reality, in your life. So you are aware of it, you can see it. Background means it could be your subconscious. Okay, so there's something that is playing in your subconscious. Yeah, so that will be the background. That means you're not aware of it. Okay, all right, so that's all. Seems like those are the questions that you have. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you very much for attending. So I hope that the sessions have been fruitful and useful for you. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.